Hey everybody, Peace Outcast here, back with more Everlasting Summer. So after the last episode's incredibly depressing end with Lena, we're gonna try for the good ending with Ulyana. Little redhead Ulyana. I know that the volunteer asked about Slavia, but Slavia is absolutely guaranteed to be a complete psychopath underneath that friendly-looking smile. So we'll save her for a little later. And somebody else asked about Miku, but I want to save Miku until second last because you need her ending to unlock the Yulia's end, which is the last one. So we're going to hold off on Miku. I'm going to go with Ulyana today, and we're going to go for her good ending. And that starts with attempting to take the cutlet from her. I looked at her menacingly and was about to reach out my hand, but I skipped ahead instead. I guess I'll just leave the keys this time. I'll keep silent. Because we're not going for Lena this time. Yes, somehow Lena's still alive. Don't know how that happened. Go to the canteen, I believe, is what we want to do. Nonetheless, I decided to go have lunch. Interesting. So it depends on what order you click on things. On the map, you get different dialogue. Interesting. The checklist isn't going to run away. I'll get it signed later, while my stomach clearly won't wait until dinner. With these thoughts, I entered the canteen. There's almost nobody inside. Apparently, most pioneers had lunch already. A lunch lady of impressive proportions provided me with a glorious meal of 3 dishes. A soup, ypres broth, goulash from Lavrenti Pavlovich, garnished with potatoes boiled according to the craziest fashion of XV? That's 55, isn't it? Isn't X 50? 55th century? I don't know. And a periodic table compote. What? Hardly a menu 5-star restaurant would envy, but I was too hungry to care. After all, compared to my usual meal of ramen or macaroni and cheese, this indeed wasn't too bad. You know what? My mom makes some amazing macaroni and cheese. Oh, wish she would make some of that again. Damn. She only makes it once in a while. Doesn't want to wear it out. But, get some hot dogs and cuts them up, slices up really, really thin, and fries them in butter and garlic and stuff, and then makes this cheese sauce. Oh my goodness, it's so good. Anyway, I sat at the nearest table and concentrated on chewing. Slam! My focus was soon disturbed by a sudden, mighty slap on my back. I even choked. Ulyana was standing in front of me with a victorious look on her face. I'll choke the life out of you one day. Catch me if you can. She stuck her tongue out. You tried once and couldn't. Alright, then I'll ambush you somewhere. That's not fair. Look who's talking this fair play. I grinned. Okay, you wait. I'll get some food and come back. We'll eat together. I could do without such company, but better hurry up with my lunch. However, Ulyana came back after just half a minute. She had a huge roast beef on her plate and a few large boiled potatoes. Rose, where did you get the roast beef? Compared to my royal feast. Where did you get that? Gotta know places. She looked at me and grinned with all her 32 or however many she had teeth. I won't stand for this. I never was a master of pranks, and in school I found myself often on the bullied side. But I had to get back at her somehow. And what if Olga finds out that you're stealing food? I'm not stealing, she flared up. That's what you're going to tell her. I wonder if she'll believe you. And how would she know? Well, it depends on many things. Like what? Pardon me, still having my breakfast here. Ulyana looked me in the eyes. Bring me a bun, a sweet one. Where am I supposed to get it? Well, the same place where you got all this. I pointed at her plate. She hesitated. All right, one bun. I promise you won't tell Olga. You have the word of a pioneer. She ran off towards the kitchen. Without hesitating, I opened the pepper box and emptied it into her drink. Just as I finished, the restless girl came back. Here, you racketeer. Looks like she didn't notice. Okay. Now, who drinks this compote last carries trays. Don't be silly. Silly, watch me. I won't play these childish games. Look who's talking. I smiled maliciously. Huh. You watch me then. 1, 2, 3. Shouldn't even let me grab my glass and in one quick motion downed her drink. Uh-oh. In just 1 second, her expression changed from that of authentic terror. Oh, sorry, to that of authentic terror. Her cheeks went red and her eyes were about to pop out. She jumped from the table and rushed to the table with the drinking water, spitting and yelling as she went. You! I decided not to wait for her and went outside, giggling to myself while finishing my bun. Oh, man. Yeah, this is going to be a good route, I think. Yeah, she's gonna be crazy. My wife's like, I like the little one, and she's gonna be a crazy, fun route. So go for her. All right, go alone. I'm gonna skip that. I can either bet with her or not bet with her. I don't think that matters. I gotta just when we play, I gotta lose against Ulyana. Skip the tutorial and lose against Ulyana. At least I won a single round. I left the canteen. Oh, and that was that. Okay, I don't think it matters where I go here. Scene? What's that? I never went there. The events of the past day kept flashing brightly in my head. That stupid, useless checklist, this foolish tournament. Tonight I had no intention of doing anything or talking to anybody. The investigation of my complicated situation was the last thing on earth I would do this evening. I headed to the north. At least where I thought it was. It was my habitat from my youth, to go to the north. I liked this part of my hometown more than the southern districts. Traveling to the Black Sea resorts was never my thing either. Boundless forests and fields were much closer to me than beaches and Barkans. Several minutes later, an open-air stage consisting of several wooden benches and a platform appeared before my eyes. I climbed onto the stage. So much varied musical equipment, loudspeakers, a microphone stand, and even a piano. I imagined a crowd of people in front of me, everyone screaming, shouting my name, myself blinded by the spotlights. I imagined a guitar in my hands and attempted to play a long and striking solo. I suppose it looked pretty funny from a stranger's point of view. A weird guy swinging his arms on stage, jumping around like an ape and making faces. I hope no one can see me here. Hey! Of course. Piped up from somewhere above. Oh my. I looked up and saw Ulyana hanging over the beam under the stage ceiling. What are you doing here? I'm just... Denial is obviously futile. You saw it, didn't you? I said in frustration and turned away. Oh, I see a wasted guitar talent in you. I said nothing. Hey, come on, don't frown. It was funny enough. She giggled. Funny enough, eh? I huffed. Yep. Ulyana answered calmly. Come up here, dude. Where to? To me. I ain't gonna get up there. Don't even try to convince me. Not that I have a fear of heights, it's just that climbing up there's pointless. Isn't it? No, just get over here. I felt in my bones that something was going wrong, but still slowly headed her way. When I found myself standing under Ulyana, she cried out, Catch me! Oh boy. And she jumped. Thousands of thoughts flashed through my mind in an instant. How would I catch her? Is it worth trying? What if she dies? What if she breaks my something? Why the hell does this happen to me? It's her own fault. No more fooling around. Wow, what a number of thoughts come and go in a blink of an eye. When sometimes many years are not enough to come up with a single idea, at least logic and self-preservation instinct won the battle, and I stepped back. Ulyana landed gently, tumbled, instantly jumped to her feet, and looked at me with offense. Holy moly, why didn't you catch me? You didn't get hurt, I answered, shifting my glance. What if I did? But you didn't. What's up with you? Watched too many B-movies recently? So don't you care about me? She grinned. Well, in this situation, certainly I do care. I'm flattered. Hey, you don't get any ideas. Okay. You're forgiven for the cards. And you are not. I had no time to finish the sentence. Ulyana jumped off the stage and vanished into the dark of the night. Yep, one more childish trick from the silly girl. Sure, I was worrying about her at the moment, as I would for anyone else in her place. After once again cursing Ulyana in my mind, I headed towards my cabin. Okie dokie. I don't think either of these really matter. I guess I can talk to her. Well, whatever. Yeah, I can come, I think. Okay, I need to do that one. Apparently I missed one with Ulyana. But she has like 11 different options that improve or 10 different options with 11 points towards her route, so that should be fine. Go to the sports club. I was hoping that I could escape the obligatory work if I pretended to be helping the sports club. And that's where we get another glimpse of Ulyana's underwear. The other team consisted in... Oh, I missed something. I missed a lot. Authoritative. Hoping the obligatory work. This obviously was... They obviously have tons of members and could probably do just as well without a single extra pair of hands. However, I'd better visit the sports ground at least to check in there, just in case Olga finds out that her ideal pioneer slacks off and dodges community service. You never know, I could imagine worse punishments than a public telling off at a party gathering. I wasn't really planning for that to happen. All of a sudden I saw no cleaning, painting, or repairing, but a football match. They were playing 5 versus 6. I took a closer look at the players and recognized Ulyana. I won't interfere, I'll just watch. The teams were obviously mismatched. One team consisted entirely of younger kids that looked about 12 years old. The other team consisted entirely of teenagers. Besides, they had one extra player, Ulyana. Pardon me. Mind you, what can just one extra person, moreover one girl, do? Soon enough I realized that I was mistaken. Ulyana had a good dribbling technique, cutting through the defenders one by one. She obviously lacked teamwork skills, but they weren't even required at this level. She scored with enviable regularity. I came closer to the pitch. Hey, come join us. They're short one man on their team. I guess that's what counts as community service here. We've already finished everything, said Ulyana, sounding insulted. I looked over the sports ground again. The benches were freshly painted. New nets placed behind the goals. How did they manage to get through all this stuff? Come join their team. Well, given that I escaped the last time, I should indeed play now. Ball at the center. We start. With the very first touch, I put the ball into the top corner with a delicate strike. Actually, it wasn't that difficult. The pitch was at most 50 meters long, and a goalkeeper of the opposing team couldn't even reach the crossbar. Sometime later, we tied it up, despite our team being 7 or 8 goals behind at the start. Objectively speaking, one should note that Ulyana's team scored a couple of goals during my time here too. More precisely, she scored. You couldn't say that she had Rolandino's tricks or precise Beckham's shots in her pocket. She would just kick the ball into open spaces, and coming up towards the goal, she just toe punted every time. However, such a dull strategy brought positive results. I could not keep an eye on every opponent, and my teammates were not much help. Certainly I played better than all of them, and theoretically I could have scored as many times as I wanted, but it seemed unsportsmanlike to me. Winning isn't everything. It's taking part that counts, isn't it? But after Ulyana's words, penalty shootout, winner wins the game, I made up my mind that I did not want to lose. At the time, it was 11-9 in our favor, so it wasn't unreasonable to object. You're in goal, I'll shoot. We switched then. 1 shot each? Yes. Stood at the line and got ready. She took a run and sent it straight into my hands. That's not fair. What's not fair? I'll shoot again. Okay, just do it, I said, smiling. Second shot would go better in rugby. One more time? Absolutely not, she sniffed. But you should never score. You shall never score a goal against me. We'll see. Put the ball into the low right corner of the goal with a precise kick. Ulyana didn't even move. However, there was no point. Penalty kicks like that were uncatchable. Looks like I won. She answered nothing and just looked at me resentfully. I needed to lighten the mood. Don't get upset. That's when the music started playing, calling the Pioneers for lunch. Alright, I'll get even with you some other time. She laughed, waved her hand, and ran in the direction of the canteen. I juggled the ball a little and followed her. Who's marching forward in a row? It is our Pioneer squad. Pioneers in a row usually marched to the canteen in the Ulyana camp. I was looking for a place where no one would disturb me, like what happened before. Just so I can eat in peace. And for that, I have to at least not be the last one to come. But I was pretty sure whatever happens here happens whether I want it to or not. The canteen was crammed full as an egg. Olga was standing at the entrance, guarding it like a hawk. Well, Simeon, are you working hard today? Hard enough. Well done, truly well done, and the hardest is yet to come. I'll just bet. Fine, take a seat next to the girls. She pointed at the table next to the pillar. Slavia, Ulyana, and Lena were already sitting there. Not bad company. At least, not the worst. Got my meal and went up to them. Okay, this, I believe we've seen all of this. Ah, yes, this is when we got into the big fight. So we're going to, this time, help Ulyana clean up. Now, running away is hardly a good idea. For starters, Olga has caught me already, and dashing off would only aggravate my punishment. As well as that, I was indeed partially guilty. Of course, it was all her fault. But if I hadn't reacted like that, probably we could have avoided this thrashing. Probably. I opened the cabinet and took out a broom, a mop, and a dustpan. Olga wasn't anywhere near Ulyana by the time I returned. She's gone? Can't you see for yourself? Ulyana looked upset. All her youthful spirit vanished without a trace. Okay, hang on a second. I'll go wash myself up a bit first. I shot her an angry glance and headed towards the exit. I washed the scraps of lunch off myself and returned to the canteen. Well, no escaping it. We have to clean it up. It's all because of you. Just a single gaze from her gave me the creeps. Of course it is. It's me who's guilty of everything. It's me who's a local natural hazard. Oh, shut up. Still, it's kind of strange that she's not trying to avoid this cleanup duty. Ulyana had a solid opportunity to just run away and leave me alone, but somehow she did the exact opposite. Diligently gathering broken plate fragments, mopping the floor, picking up chairs and tables. In fact, she was so fast that I had a tough time keeping up with her. Well, now, aren't you suddenly acting all goody-goody? It's not like I want to spend the whole day here, you dork. She still sounded irritated. Listen, you gotta understand that you can't behave like that. At least, not to such an extent. For some reason, I decided to try and give her a moral lecture. I haven't done a thing. It was you who was calling me names. Ulyana grabbed a bucket and mop and went to the furthest corner of the canteen. Looks like she's still angry. Looking back at the mountain of broken tableware, I finally began to understand the scope of the catastrophe. We're lucky that at least the forks and spoons are made of metal. We still have something to eat with. But there are hardly any plates left. Hey! Ulyana called me with a shout. I went over to her. I don't get it. Why do you hate me so much? Her face became so serious that I was ready to believe that it wasn't just yet another trick of hers. Why do you think so? I have no idea. That's exactly why I'm asking you. I don't hate you. It's just that sometimes you behave like, well, you know. As simple as that, but still true. Like what? I have no idea. She lifted her gaze to me, boiling with curiosity. Well, for starters, what's the big idea in pouring the compote all over me? You were asking for it. She smiled for the first time since we started cleaning. Yeah, sure. I heaved a deep sigh. So what do you expect from others then? Nothing, she replied acidly. This discussion was over, so I just continued cleaning up in silence. It took us a few hours to fix up the canteen. At last, all the broken tableware was gone. Chairs and tables were in their designated places. The floor looked clean. We were sitting together with Ulyana next to the food counter, breathing heavily, deservedly resting. Now you see how much effort has to be put in because of a silly trick. But I'm not tired at all. Though the sweat pouring down her face told the opposite story. Oh well, good for you. So what are we gonna do next? I don't know about you, but I'd rather go... Nope, that's not all. You have to... She hesitated. To help me with another little thing. Thinking of another silly prank? You bet. She was smiling broadly. I'm not your man here. I'm more than fed up with just one punishment for today. Okay, here's the deal. If you help me now, there won't be any more pranks. Sure, that was an inviting prospect, but somehow I couldn't bring myself to trust Ulyana even for a moment. Well, it wouldn't hurt to ask. So what's your cunning plan? We're gonna steal the candy. What? I should have expected something like that. Candy is for kids. Soon the chef will go out and dump the trash. Nobody's gonna see us. Count me out. Ah, whatever. She grunted and turned away. Then I'll do it myself. And I won't allow... I couldn't even finish the sentence as Ulyana already jumped over the counter, ran to the cabinet, opened the door, and started rummaging through it. Hey, cut that. It's not like you haven't got enough problems with Olga. She didn't reply. You won't get away with just cleaning duty for something like that. Ulyana closed the closet. She held a huge bag of candy in her hands. You little... Put it back. She stuck out her tongue at me and dashed off through the back door. I couldn't just leave it at that. I darted off in pursuit. Sure, the girl had quite a head start, but I still funneled all my energy into the chase. I won't lose her again. We ran through the square. Turned to the music club building. Came out into the forest trail. I'd almost caught Ulyana, then she stopped abruptly. I couldn't pull up as sharply, so I crashed into her, sending us sprawling. We rolled down onto the grass. Gotcha! I gave a victorious shout. No, you didn't, she replied with an ashamed tone. Ulyana was lying under me. Her face was right next to mine. I felt her erratic breathing and the heat of her body. Sure, right now she's only a child, but soon enough she'll become a woman. And it was pretty embarrassing. You gonna rape me? She said, coming back to her senses. You want me to? Anyway, it was more like a game to her. Sure do. She gave a cunning smile and snorted quietly. Or was it just my imagination? I'm not really in the mood. Ah, whatever. Oh my goodness. Ulyana reached up and bit me on the nose. I wasn't expecting that and even pulled back a little. Just a moment of hesitation was enough for her to wrestle out and run a dozen feet away. Watch it. You're gonna regret this later. Oh, she laughed out loud and disappeared into the woods. The candy bag was left lying on the ground near me. I wonder if she dropped it on purpose. Getting near dinner time, so I'd better hurry up and return the candy. And preferably, very preferably, stay under the radar. Of course, I'll explain the situation. It was Ulyana who had stolen them. But who's going to believe me? Olga was already waiting for me at the entrance to the canteen. Good job, Semyon. On what? I hid the bag of sweets behind my back. The bag was transparent and too big to put it in my pocket. I was talking about the cleanup. Everything is clean and tidy. Well, yeah. And where's Ulyana? I wish I knew. She'll come soon. Okay then, go and have your dinner. I entered the canteen. To my utter lack of surprise, it was full. Now I really don't know how to return the bag without being noticed. Sure, I could do it in the evening, but what do I do with it now? Semyon! I turned around. Slavia was in front of me. Wow, what's that? She looked at the bag that I didn't manage to hide in time. Caught red-handed, or more like sweet-handed. Time to prepare for a scolding. These are sweets. Where from? I stole them, damn it. Got them from Ulyana. Oh, I see. Some old song and dance. What do you mean? It's not the first time she's stolen sweets. And why am I not surprised? Let me handle this. Thanks. Slavia saves the day yet again. She took the bag and headed to the buffet. I had no desire to listen to what she was going to say while returning the sweets, so I started to look around the canteen looking for a place to sit. It seems that I will have to share a dinner table with Elektronik and Shurik. There were no more places to sit. What's happening, gentlemen? Okay, we already have that. Now it's dance time. It's kind of weird. Oh no, dancing with Lena again. Oh boy, that's rough. Right. I don't know. I guess I'll go there. And then there. Yeah, I'll just do the just asking thing. Oh, this is more dialogue. We were quiet for some time. Alright, this is another good one apparently. It poisoned the canteen. Considering the local cuisine is not that surprising. Maybe. She smirked. See, you're still alive and kicking. Well, I'm not complaining. Bye. Ulyana ran out of the infirmary, slamming the door. Don't ask about the bundle. Not gonna give her the activated carbon. Not going to eat the apple. We'll see what happens with that later. And Oh, I might have screwed something up there. Hopefully I have enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ooh. I don't know. Okay, we're gonna stop here because this is gonna be a fairly long section, and we're gonna go with Ulyana, so we'll see what happens with that. Although, according to this, going with Ulyana now doesn't actually have any effect on our relationship with her, but I might have messed something up after getting poisoned the canteen. After talking to her about the food poisoning, I think I should have gone somewhere else. Anyway, hopefully this isn't a complete disaster. We'll see you in the next episode.